Hi, how you doing? It's Jeff Sinker from SkypeGuitarLessonsOnline.com, bringing you another song to learn. Now this song is one of my all-time Paul McCartney favourite tracks. It was released as a single, never actually appeared on an album apart from the Greatest Hits album. But the song is called Junior's Farm. It really is to me, it is a fabulous track. And there's so many various little parts to play on this. You've got two guitars playing two distinctive rhythms. We've got two guitar solos in here to play as well. Really is a fun track. Now, I have got a backing track that I have prepared, which has got rhythm guitar, drums, and the bass line. So you can play the second guitar and also all the guitar solos in here. So you can learn this and then just play along with it. Really did enjoy putting this together for you. I hope you do enjoy learning this song as much as I did recording it. If you did, don't forget, click on the subscribe button down there and you'll be able to be notified in future of all the videos that I'm putting together. And what I've done in this video is a little bit different because of the backing track that I did prepare. So I'm going to be showing you the sections with the backing track playing the parts, both guitars at the same time, and then we'll be breaking it down bit by bit. I'm not too sure if you like this format. It's the first time I've tried it like this. If you do, great. If you don't, oh well. Can't get it right every single time, can we? But I thought this would be just a fun way of doing it, and with the backing track I thought you might enjoy it and appreciate it. So I'm sure people out there who don't, they'll let me know. But if you do, it's always good to hear from you. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now and we're going to get into this song, and I'm going to show you how to play Junior's Farm by Paul McCartney and Wings. So don't go away. Let's have a look at guitar number 1 first, that's just playing the power chords. So we start off with a G, and he holds that for 2 bars, and then we get this F, 2 Fs, then we do a C to a D, back to a G. So we get the second one starts off the same way. We start off with this G power chord, goes back to the F, but this time we do a G to an A, back to a G. So we've covered the guitar that plays the main power chords. Let's have a look close up what the second guitar is playing through the intro. Right, I'll just play through the first riff and then I will break it down. Right, we're going to start off on 10th fret A string, going to 9th fret on the G string, moving to D10, to D12, to G9, to G10, to G12, back to G8 with a half tone bend, to D10, A8 twice, going to D10, D12, finishing up on A10. Now we'll play the second phrase. So we start off in the same place as the previous one, so we do an A10. Then we go to G9 with a half tone bend, back to the G9, then we go to D10, G12, D12, sorry, G9, G10, G12 to B13. Then we're going to B15, B14, B13, B12. Let me just say that again. B15, B13, and B12. And we cross over to E13. We've got two of them to E15. Then we got a full tone bend back down to 15 on the E. So let's just go through this rhythm, and we're going to be focusing on the 1 and the 4 and then the 2 and the 4. So we get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And the intro plays for 4 bars. Then we go into the main verse. Now we're going to play through on the G again, so it continues going, and we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we move down to an F chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go back to the guitar playing through, and it just repeats it through. So we've got a verse consists of that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 for 4 verses, for 4 bars, sorry. Then we get this F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So once we've played that through again, we're into the chorus section. And the chorus section in the first part takes you into the guitar solo. The chorus starts off on the G chord again, but this time we're doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down to an F, 1, 2, 3, 4, back to the G, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and at that point the lead guitar takes in for the solo, which I said we will be covering that towards the end of the lesson. So stick around. Now, the chorus does get repeated twice. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you down to the second chorus line, and we're going to go through all the various parts of that second chorus line, which plays behind the guitar solo. So we start off with this G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and that's on the F, back to the F, to G, and then we stick on this G, 1, 2, 3, 4, back to the F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, to the G, 2, 3, 4. And that takes us to the second verse. So we've played through the chorus line, we have the guitar solo, then we go back to another 2 verses. We play another chorus. At the end of the full chorus, we go back to the beginning where we're doing that. So it plays through that. Then we've got another 2 verses and another chorus. At the end of that last chorus, there is the build-up to the arpeggio section at the end. So let me just take you through that. So we're playing through a chorus, but at the end of the chorus, we're playing an F. Sorry, we start off on a G. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once we play that E minor, we've got this little line that the second guitar plays as well. We get this. Got a hold of 2 bars, and then this guitar who's been playing the main rhythm is then going to do the arpeggio section, which we will be breaking down as well. So now we're going to look at guitar number 1, the rhythm that's played by that. This guitar is playing heavily across the 2 and the 4 beats, so it almost feels like a reggae rhythm as we're playing through. So we've got the first part before the verse, then we've got 4 bars, and he's playing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then he goes into the verse. So when I'm playing there, I'm just playing this G chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then I do a D. Back to a D. Now at that point is where the verse has started. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, changes to 5, changes to F on the 5th bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got 1, and he plays an E on the 2, he does a down up on the 2nd beat, 1, 2, so we get 1. Now there is a riff fill which I'm going to be covering at the end of this section, but he goes, once he's played the riff, he's back in and does exactly the same thing. So we just repeat that through, ends on the E, and another riff. Then we go into the chorus section. The chorus section, he's just playing, same as what we covered in the previous guitar, but he's just focusing on that 2 and the 4. So we're just doing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So it's just exactly the same chords, but just pushing out on the 2 and the 4. Once we come out of the chorus, back into another verse. And again, this guitar, every single time that we come to the end of one of the verses, there's a little riff. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get the guitar in close and we're going to go through each of the riffs that are featured at the end of each verse line by this guitar. So let me just play the first riff that the guitarist plays at the end of that E minor chord. Simple line, let me just break that down. You're going to go from 2 on the G, slide up to 4 on the G, then you're going to play on B3 3 times, going across to the 4 on the G, little slight bend, little bit of an attitude bend, and then 5 on the D. Just going to play through riff number 2. Let me just break that down. It starts off on 6th fret on the E string, goes to 5 on the A, to 7 on the A, crosses over to 5 on the D, 7 on the D, 5 on the D, back to 7 on the A, 5 on the D, finishes on 7 on the A string. Let me just play through riff number 3. Very simple line. Starts off on 10 on the E, 12 on the E, 10 on A, 12 on A, 12 on A, bends down a half tone to 12 on the E. Okay, let me just play through riff number 4. Right, let me just play through riff number 4. We start off on 14 on the D, 12 on D, cross to 14A, 12A twice, and then we've got 12A again, but we just shift the pattern, the position. We do 12, 10 on the A, finishing on 12 on the E. Okay, let me just play through riff number 5. Similar to the previous one. Start off on 12D, 14D, 12D, 14A, going to 10A, and then the same as previous, we're going to do 12 on the A, 10 on the A, to 12 on the E. Riff number 6. Here we start off on 10 on the B with a full tone bend. It's 10 on the high E, and we do this 3 times. And then we're going to do 10 on the B to 8 on the B. So there are all of the riffs that are played at the end of each verse section. Right, what we're going to do now, I'm going to show you how to play the first guitar solo. So we've gone through the intro, we have gone through the verse and the chorus. Now through the second part of the chorus, we have this guitar solo. So I'm going to run the video through, which just shows you with the backing track, the lead line, and then camera in close and we'll break it down stage by stage. Well, we got the cameras in close, so I'm going to break the solo down into 4 phrases. I'll play through the phrase and then I'll break it down. So let's have a look at phrase number 1. Okay, so we start off on D12, D14, D12, cross over to G12, G14, G12, then G14 with a full tone bend. Then we do another G14 full tone bend to 15 on the B string, back to G14. We're going to do a full tone bend and then a pull off to G12. Let's have a look at phrase number 2. So we start off on D14, D12, we go to D13 with a half tone bend, to G12 twice, back to D14, D14 followed by a half tone bend back to 14, then down to D12, to A14, D12, A13, A12. Let's have a look at phrase number 3. Now this one a little bit faster. We're going to start off on the B15 and I'm going to do an up pick with a hammer on to 15B with a down pick to E15. Now we're going to play this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on the last one, full tone bend on 17. Let's have a look at the final phrase. Let me break that down. So we do a full tone bend on 17, back to 17, do another 17, and we do 15 twice on the E, and we do 17B to 15B, cross to G16, G14 to D17. Now we're going to play D17 with a full tone bend, back to the 12, going then down to 14 on the D, back to 17 on the D. And that is all the sections for the guitar solo. Now what we're going to do, we are going to go through the break section, not the bridge. This is the outro section. So I'm going to go through each guitar one at a time. We're going to go through the rhythm guitar, and then I go through the arpeggio guitar, and then we are going to finish with the lead guitar solo that plays out. So let's get them cameras back in close again, and let me take you through it stage by stage. We've got the guitars in close to go through the final section through the arpeggios that you've just watched. Just want to cover the final 4 bars of the chorus as we head into this outro section. It starts off, we've got 2 bars that we're playing on the G chord, just playing this one. Then we move down to the F. And it hits an E minor chord. Now the E minor holds for 2 bars, and then we have this riff. Then it goes into the full arpeggio section. So let me just break that riff down. Let me just show you the riff and that little final chord there. So we've come out of the E minor, got a 2-bar break, and then we're going to play this 3rd fret on the E string 3 times. Then we cross over to D2 with a full tone bend. Back to 3 on the A, moving up to 5 on the A. Then we've got this diminished sounding chord that's really backed up heavily with the keyboard. But I'll just show you what the guitar's playing. You've got your 1st finger on 3rd fret on the D, 3rd finger 4th on the G, 2nd finger on 3rd on the B. And we just play them 3 strings. And that holds for a 2-bar section, which is the build-up to the arpeggio section. Now this guitar that we're going to feature first is the one that plays the lead guitar section. The other guitar is going to be playing the arpeggio, so we're just going to go through first of all the guitar that leads into the solo. So once we've played that diminished chord we've held for 2 bars, we then are just going to play the power chord, just the full chord for each bar. So the first one is an E minor. 4, goes down to a D5, 2, 3, 4, back to the E minor, 2, 3, 4, to the D, 2, 3, 4, then he does a C5, 2, 3, 4, to a B minor, 2, 3, 4, to an A minor, 2, 3, 4, and this is the part where we hit the guitar solo. Now this first bar that we're going to play is a 3/4 time bar. The song itself has all been 4/4 time, but this bar is on a 3/4 time. So I'm just going to play the riff and then we'll break it down. So what we're doing there, I'm starting off on 14th fret on the G string, and we're just putting a bend on it as we've played it, and then we're going to continue sweeping down on 12 on the B and 12 on the high E. Then we go back to 14, put a little bit of a grace bend on it, to 12 on the G, finishing on 12 B. Next phrase, me just play this bar through, or play the phrase through. We've got just a simple, which is just 14 on the G, 12 on the G, 14, and then a full tone bend on 14. Let me just play the phrase. And we just play the phrase through. We've got just a simple, which is just 14 on the G, 12 on the G, 14, and then a full tone bend on 14. Let me just play the phrase. And we 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 just play the phrase. And start off on 14A, 12A, 10A, back to 12, 14, 12, 10, back to 12, finishing on 12E. So let me just play this last phrase, then I'll break it down. So we're just sliding into B12, going to 15B with a full tone bend, back to 15, 12 on the B, 14 on the G, and then finishing up on 12G. So there are all the sections for the lead guitar part for the outro. Let's just go through the arpeggio section for the alternative guitar. So let's have a look at the picking pattern for the arpeggio section for the guitar. So we're playing the same chord, so we're doing this E minor, D, E minor, D, C, B minor, A minor. So we start on this A minor and we're just playing the D string, G string, B string, G string, D string, G string, B string, finishing on the G. So we get this changing to the D, back to the E minor, to these D, to the C, B minor, across to the A minor. Now for that 3/4 time bar we stay on the A minor, but of course we're playing less notes. We're just going to play on the D, to the G, to the B, back to the G, D, finishing on the G, and then back into the E minor, and we just repeat the whole thing all over again. Going back to the A minor, and from that section we just got this little fade out that we're going to play from an A minor to a D, finishing up on this G5 chord up on 10th fret. So we're now going through all the sections, both guitars, for the outro part of the song. That's all of the sections covered. Quite a bit to go through. I do fully recommend that you have the tablature so you can follow it stage by stage. Once you've got the parts together, you can then start to utilize the backing track that I put together, which is the full song. So all the different sections, you put them all together there. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this. I really enjoyed putting this video together. It was one of my favourite songs by Paul McCartney when this came out. Really did like this, and I was lucky enough a few years ago to hear him play it when he came out to Abu Dhabi for the Formula One. It's a great night. But to me, this one really stood out. It took me back to my childhood. So I really did want to do this as a lesson, and here we have it. So if you did enjoy it as much as I enjoyed putting this all together, just click on that subscribe button. Down there it is. And that will notify you in future whenever I've got any new videos to be posted, which is normally 1 or 2 a week. So it's well worth subscribing. Well, enough of me babbling on. I'm sure you're sickened to death of me at the moment. So I'll let you go, let you get back to practicing and enjoying doing this. And I will see you again soon on the next video. Well, this is me, Jeff Sinker from SkyguitarLessonsOnline.com, wishing you well. Goodbye.